everyone, welcome to my channel, Create with Tina. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're a returning visitor, thanks for coming back. This is part 2 of my One Kit So Many Ways series, and today we're going to step these cards up. If you love the ease of card kits but also enjoy adding your own creative touches, this video is for you. So today I am taking the Watercolor and Bloom card kit and stepping up one of each of the 3 card designs using small additions and simple changes. Nothing complicated, just ideas to make the cards feel a little more you. So just a quick note though, as I get started, this Watercolor and Bloom card kit is a paper pumpkin kit, which means it's part of Stampin' Up! Subscription program. I'm focusing more on the design ideas here though, because the same concepts work with any card kit you have on hand. However, one nice perk is that once you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can also purchase refills from past kits, which is why I like focusing on ideas that work beyond just 1 month. So this video, like I said, is part of my One Kit So Many Ways series, where I'm going to explore how many different projects I can create from one single Stampin' Up! Card kit. So, quick recap, in the previous video I assembled the cards exactly as they were designed in the kit, but today I'm starting from those same base designs and building on them. So what you see here is I just showed you the instructions, and on the instructions it does tell us what colors are used in the kit. And so I pulled out my shaded spruce cardstock and I'm using this card front. In video 1, I did cut all of the card bases in half and instead mounted those directly on a white card base, leaving me with an extra card front to work with. So I'm cutting that card front right here, and since the card front is 5.5 inches wide, I wanted to cut it in half, and so that means half of that is 2 3/4 inches. So I just cut it at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, which gave me 2 pieces. And then I grabbed one of the cut apart cards that comes in the kit and I cut it in half. And here I am just trimming out the design from that card so that I have this really pretty, making my own die cut basically to use on the card, because each kit creates 9 cards, but they only give you enough die cuts for those 9 cards. So I'm going to have to be creative and come up with some other ways. Now I want to do some stamping, and this is the stamp set that comes with the kit. However, I need a different sentiment. So I'm going through my mini stamp sets, and in previous videos I've talked about these envelopes that I store them in and that crate, and I'll go ahead and link that information below in the description in case you're curious. But I send mostly thank you cards, and so I was looking for a stamp set that had something related to thank you, and I landed on one that said I appreciate you so much, and then I'll stamp thank you on the inside. So what I just did here was I grabbed another one of the die cuts with the bronze foil and I cut it in half. It was 1 inch wide, and I thought, oh, if I cut it in half I will have 2 half-inch strips for sentiments. However, when I put it on my card, it was only 3 inches wide, and I wanted a sentiment that was a little bit wider than the actual piece I was gluing to the card front, wider than the focal piece. So I took another 1/2 inch scrap and I cut it down to 3.5 inches long. And looking at it on the card, I like how it hangs over on both sides. By the way, since I cut that card front down to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, I added a 3x3 piece of white cardstock behind it to really make it pop off the card. So far all I've added to the kit is the card front, which is a piece of shaded spruce, and the white cardstock square, and a strip of white cardstock to stamp my sentiment on. And I went ahead and stamped the I appreciate you so much. And now I'm going to use the dimensionals that come in the kit, and I'm just going to add them to the back of the sentiment so that it really pops up off the card. And I want to see how that looks. Just using dimensionals can add so much visual interest to the card. But then I decide, no, let's go ahead and pop up the whole leaf piece that I trimmed out, because there's no reason why I couldn't pop up the whole thing. It's really, really pretty. And everything else is flat to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and add dimensionals and then start putting the card together. But then I changed my mind and I thought, oh, the shaded spruce card base looks a little boring. So I went ahead into my office and grabbed my shaded spruce ink because I had it and a blending brush. And I thought, let's just add a little bit of shaded spruce to the card front behind where that 3x3 square is going to go, so that it'll kind of give me that like a halo effect behind that piece. And so here I am just adding ink with the blending brush, and I did a few layers because it is a dark green ink on a dark green card base, so you need a few layers for it to really show up. And it didn't, all I did was shake it for about 10 seconds to get it to dry and add that piece right on. Easy peasy. So now I'm just adding all the pieces that I popped up with dimensionals, and I'm going to put it on the card front. The card base. So I added adhesive to the card base, stuck that front right on, and added a ribbon. All right, now let's talk about card number 2. Again, I'm using a white card base, so I guess the card bases I did have to pull from my stash, but everything else on this card came from the kit. Nothing, I didn't add any other cardstock other than the card base for card number 2, but you're going to see it looks like a completely different card than the way Stampin' Up! Designed it. So again, this die cut is 5.5 inches long because it's the entire length of a standard size card. And I wanted to cut it in half. So half of 5.5 is 2 3/4, which leaves me another half that I can use on another card or another project, which I am using it on another project that I'm going to be excited to show you. And I'll tell you now, psst, it's not a card. It's going to be a scrapbook page, and I'm super, super excited to show you. So this is the other half of that card front piece, the little die cut piece that I used on card 1. This is the other half, and I'm not going to cut the piece out. I'm actually going to use that whole piece right on the card, and I left it wider than that 2 3/4 inch die cut piece because I thought having it extend beyond the borders of that gave good visual interest, and I like that a lot. So now I grabbed another sentiment from another one of my mini stamp sets, and this one just says thank you. Again, because I use so many thank you cards. So these kits, even though they come with stamps, feel free to use different stamps that come than what comes in the box to make sure you're really getting cards that you're going to use and send, because sending out cards is so good. It's such a good thing to do to help eradicate loneliness. People love getting these surprise cards in the mail. So thank you is one I send a lot. And so now we're going to build the card base. And remember that 1 inch by 3 inch rectangle piece that I cut for card 1 but didn't end up using because it was too short? I'm going to use it on this card, and so I stamped on it. And I'm measuring it. It is 3 inches, but the piece right here that I cut out of the card, I had made it longer than 3 inches. So I want to trim it down so those two are exactly the same size. So I'm just sticking it on my trimmer to make that piece also 3 inches. And then I'm going to add it to the card using dimensionals. All right. I do love that the dimensionals come in the kits, that the ink comes, the dimensionals come, the embellishments come, all of the pieces come, and you don't even have to add card bases. But again, if you have white cardstock and can make your own card bases, you really, really can stretch these kits farther. So there we go. We're going to add it right to the card. Look how cute that is. I love it. And something to think about, if you're newer to card making, this is a great way to grow your confidence. Starting with a kit gives you like a strong foundation, and then stepping it up lets you experiment without feeling overwhelmed because the colors are already kind of pre-designed for you, so you can't really mess that up. So I know sometimes color coordination is a hard thing to get right, but these kits, they take that guesswork out for you. Now I'm just going to add it to the card base, and we are going to grab the bronze sequins that came in the kit because they give us plenty. Remember, the kits do make 9 cards, and even though so far this will only be 6 cards from the kit, I have plenty of bronze sequins to work with. So I want to grab those, and I'm going to add them around the card because what that will do is that will tie in with the bronze foiling that is on those die cuts. So it's always good to tie things in, to use them more than once on a card unless it makes sense. And what I mean by that is if you're stamping flowers and you stamp green leaves and you don't use green anywhere else on your card, that's fine because it makes sense. Leaves are green, right? But so you should always try to use a color more than once unless it makes sense. Okay, here we are for card number 3, and I'm excited to say that I use only one extra supply on this, and it's some ribbon. So if you have ribbon around your craft room, grab it. That's all I used on this card. Again, I'm going to layer it onto a white card base, but this time I decided to cut a 1/4 inch off the top and one side so that I could leave an even white border around my card front. So a standard size card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I cut that card front down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to stick it to my card base, and now I'm going to build this card, and you're going to see it's going to look almost identical to the one that they teach in the kit. So the one on the left is what we made in video 1, and it's done exactly the way Stampin' Up! Showed us in the kit. And the one I'm doing right now is just a little bit of a stepped up version by adding an extra layer. That extra layer is simply by trimming down the card front. And then I'm going to add ribbon instead of using the vellum die cut. And so what I'm doing is using my tape runner to add a length of the adhesive going diagonally down the card. And I'm going to fold that ribbon back. But before I stick it down, I'm just going to grab that die cut to make sure that I have it a good amount so I can see it coming out both the top and the bottom of the die cut. So every time I zigzag that ribbon, I am going to add another little strip of my tape runner just to hold it in place. It just makes it easier for me if I held it in place. You don't have to worry about what it looks like under there. It's going to be hidden. But now I'm going to add the dimensionals right to this piece and pop the whole thing up. And so not only does popping that piece up give visual interest to the card, it also lets the ribbon still stand out and have body. And so it looks really, really good. So I actually love this technique, and you're going to see in the next video, video 3, when I get that done, that I use this same technique using these products on a scrapbook page. So I am super, super excited to show that to you. But look, the cards are looking very much identical. Same die cuts everywhere. It's just that I replaced the card front with a different one, and I took out the vellum and added ribbon. And then I realized, oh, I forgot to stamp the leaves. So the stamp set that comes with the kit has this little tiny, really cute little leaf branches, I don't know what you want to call it, image. And so I'm going to use that Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to stamp it. But I almost want to take this out of the video because you don't usually stamp on something you've already raised up with dimensionals because you're not going to get a good impression. Partially because you're not stamping on a flat, stable surface, but I did it anyway because of 2 things. 1, most of that stamped image will be hidden, and 2, this is an acrylic stamp set, and using an acrylic block means you can see through to stamp over it a second time if you didn't get a good image. And I did not get a good image, and so I did stamp over it a second time, and now it looks great. I don't mind it at all, so I thought I'm going to show this because this is real life stamping. I mean, we work on cards, change our minds, and do stuff like this, so I wanted to keep it in there for you guys to see, just keeping it real. So there we go. Let me show you the 3 card design stepped up from the original. So you can see the original on the left and my new stepped up version on the right. Isn't that so cool? Using almost exactly the same products. Okay, here it is again, but this time that's that die cut piece that I cut in half and trimmed out. Doesn't that look totally different when you don't use that whole card on the card front, but instead just cut a piece of it out and pop it up? And then this card I realized, oops, I forgot to add the bronze sequins. So let's go ahead and get those on there as well because I want to tie in to that bronze foiling that is in the card. All right, and then let's look at the last card I did, which again looks totally different. And here it is on the bottom. So there you go. That's the 3 cards. So again, if you watch video 1 where I assembled these cards as designed, you can really see how much flexibility there is in one kit. And this is only part 2. So in the next video, I'm going to take the same supplies and do something more. So if you enjoy stretching your supplies and getting more than one project out of a kit, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and it lets me know that I should keep making more videos just like this. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.